Hey, we are live.
Hello, welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians podcast, episode 442 and 1080i. Did I say that right?
No.
1080p.
1080p. Whatever. What would it be if I wasn't fucking up some type of intro or some type of word? This wouldn't be. This is what people pay for, and they're here. They're here late.
This is a whole new level of professionalism, though. We're taking the show to a whole new level with 1080p. People are going to see details that they never wanted to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to notice that Otto's wearing the same shirt as he did last week.
And you'll finally get to see my penis.
Well, hey now.
The resolution's finally enough to decipher that.
Yeah.
By the way, Otto, how long are we doing this 8:30 kickoff?
Would you a few more weeks?
Can you ask your wife for permission?
Maybe 5 to 6.
Yeah, once Otto gets out of the doghouse, we'll be back to 8.
It's not doghouse. My son is literally playing baseball. My wife is at work, so it's like I don't know what to do.
All right,
so it's all good. And anyway, we're doing show meetings, and we're already 35 minutes late. But anyway, so I'm Otto, and I'm joined tonight with Jared.
Hey guys,
Victor Charlie, MD.
Cheers, boys.
Alex Bot 46 million. Anywho, and this is great. The unregistered illegal Discord sower. James got it.
Great to be here. Yeah, I'm unregistered, illegal, and unvaccinated.
All right, yeah, you gotta add that too. I like the golden rules of Bab are right behind you. Do not talk to cops. For our listeners, it's do not talk to cops, get a prenup, and hold your own keys.
Well, after our guest last week, I just felt like somehow this message is not getting through. People are still talking to cops, right?
Yeah, no more Fed Boy incidents.
No.
Because they'll be back. I guarantee they'll be back.
I had a run-in with someone at work.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No, coworker?
They came across the workroom floor. 2 guys walked in with badges, and they locked eyes at me. And I'm sitting there like, and I look away, and then I look back, and they're still looking for me, walking straight to me. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they come up to me, and they're like, is your supervisor here? I'm like, yeah.
I don't talk to cops. Oh, yeah, he snitched. Damn it. He folds immediately under interrogation.
You folded that easily.
I was like, yeah. And
1 second into the encounter, and he's just like singing like a songbird.
Yeah, man. I told you guys that someone paid for the Fed level, so I gotta do.
Yeah, this turned out to be our newest patron.
No, but
for a minute,
I saw you on the last episode.
It was like slow motion. I was like, oh shit, not here, not at work. Oh no. And they kept coming. There was like dozens of people standing around me, and they locked eyes with me and were just coming straight at me.
Dude, it would have been hilarious if you just started running. They weren't even there for you.
Or yelled, gun.
Waddle.
Yeah. Well, that would be funny in more ways than one, but the funniest part would be that you ran for no reason.
I'm sitting there wheezing, like, sir, we're not here for you. Why
are you running?
I don't know what it was about, but
they probably just looked at you and just assumed you were in charge by the way you handled.
Well, I was the only white guy in the bunch, so that's why I was like, these fuckers.
Oh, right, and their racism.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can trust this guy.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so that was good. That I did have a split second where I was like,
that one won't be able to run. Get him.
Yeah.
So what? But he didn't march your supervisor out and
no.
The car.
I don't know what it was about. I don't care. It wasn't about me, so I was like, all right, cool, letting it go. I'm like, didn't even.
Whew. Don't go back to work. Cool. Whatever you do, dude. Go back.
And Otto quit the next day.
Dude, do not go.
PP only for Fed level auto. You've got to learn how to grift. Yeah, I know. I'm trying, man. Every day is a new grift. I'm in the LP.
I believe you fingered your own boss. I mean, geez.
Whatever. Fuck him. Fuck all of them. But yeah. So a big story just dropped today.
What dropped today?
Tucker is out at Fox, man. That's pretty big news. And then we hear Don Lemon's out, which is not that big of news.
I mean, that's not big.
No. Wasn't he a sportscaster? Isn't Don Lemon like a sports guy, or who is that guy?
No,
he was
I
the
don't think
CNN
so.
propagandist, and he was on
Yeah.
their, he was in the evening, or he was like their lead propagandist. But then he was recently demoted and to the morning show on CNN, and he was stuck with these two Karens on some morning show kind of
He
format.
wasn't a good enough liar, or what was his
Yeah.
problem?
He had a few
don't
like
know.
faux pas, didn't he, or something? Like he did some weird shit on like New Year's Eve, didn't he?
Oh, that
Isn't
was
there
a
some
while
story
ago.
that-
He was got wasty face, and he was getting a
Yeah.
little frisky, and he was he was just like, yeah, he was a little out of control. But I think it's just because they're CNN. I mean, it's fucking CNN. Their ratings are so fucking low. That's unexpected. Tucker,
He probably
though,
just can't afford him.
yeah, Tucker.
Yeah, we were
being-
discussing Tucker last week, weren't we? And where he had sort of had a like a come
Yeah.
to Jesus moment.
As soon as he
Like,
says he's gonna
He's like,
stop lying,
yeah, he gets fired. I'm never lying again. Fox News. All right, we gotta fire this guy.
peace.
well, I mean, let's face it. This,
Wait, never
he
again?
was
Like
kind of
never
a-
again? Never ever? Nope.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
you're
kind of
fired.
an
I knew that.
oddity, right? In corporate, I don't know what to call it, not journalism, but in
Corporate media.
the news channels, right? Hit the biggest show, right? He was like coming out with, trying to get Assange out. He's coming out against the foreign policy, exposing the CIA's involvement in assassinations of presidents. I mean, he really, kind of like, got off their leash, I guess. Right. Like he was running wild, and I don't think they were enjoying that, despite the huge ratings that he was giving them.
right. They had to reel him in, and there's a clip here. Let me find
Do
it.
we know that he was fired? Or, I mean, what's the
It's
official statement?
Mutual. They
It's just-
parted mutually.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They were like,
Look at
"Hey,
this Rubin clip.
I don't want to come back." And
Yeah.
they're like, "That's fine. We understand. We don't want you back either."
So this is
But
a
this is-
recent appearance on. Yeah, go ahead, Jared. Sir.
Well, it's from October 2018, so it's not that recent.
Well,
He
sorry,
was still,
but
he was
I
still
mean,
like
listen,
75%.
But I mean, he-
back at that time.
I
Let's
mean,
see
he
what he says,
basically
though.
said, yeah.
Also, fuck Dave Rubin, but let's see what he
I
says.
am glad to have you here, my friend.
I'm glad to be here. I love this.
I don't know that anyone has ever walked in here and been more impressed by the Rubin
Because I
report.
work in television, so I know what this is, and it's just the coolest thing I've seen in a long time.
Are you jealous?
He likes the
Are you
furniture.
joking? Yes, I'm jealous.
You have millions and millions of viewers.
I drive
and
across-
You have a massive staff.
Let's
But
all
I don't
stroke
have the
each other.
control that you
Come
have,
on.
which is wonderful.
Yeah.
You don't have
Well,
control of you.
Tucker Carlson,
Yeah,
welcome to the Rubin
Hey,
report.
Dave.
I am glad to have you here, my friend.
I'm glad to be here. I love this.
I don't know that anyone
All
has
right,
ever
hold on.
walked.
So what he said, he has no control. That's the
yeah.
point.
And
Yeah.
and just this last week, he came out against, basically speaking that they were controlling the narrative. I think in his recent monologue, like a couple days ago, he was speaking out against Big Pharma, and I guess Fox. I mean, from what I gather, Fox was requiring their employees to get the jab, and they were trying to like hush him up on certain things during COVID. So, and he's coming out swinging. There was a speech I just saw, and I just sent it to a few people. It's a little too long for. Maybe we'll save it for the after hours. It's like 6 minutes long, but he's really coming out against the whole trans thing, and I think that is the next pharmaceutical grift. And being skeptical of like COVIDs and that narrative, I think they were like, "Look, Tucker, you need to go." Plus, he spoke out against the.
He's like,
the
but I'm
war in
still a douche on
Ukraine.
immation. Can I stay?
Yeah,
I'm still anti-immigrant. Doesn't that qualify me? Like, no, not good enough.
right. And to his credit, he gave coverage to the Rage Against War rally. I mean, if PRL was on Tucker, our logo graced, how many viewers? Like millions of viewers. So it's pretty wild that he's their number one. I think he's number one in cable news for them to axe him. I think he
By
was getting
far.
a little too close to the truth, and they had to let him go.
Well, there was this whole Dominion thing that people are talking about, where there was some
the vote-
lawsuit from Dominion, the voting machine
The voting
company, and I
machines?
guess they were suing for slander because I
Whatever.
guess, and I don't know, maybe he was
made some
somehow tied into that.
statements ended up not being true concerning, like, the voting machines, and the voting machine company sued him.
Yeah.
But
And
like,
Oh,
we're
no.
still like, really, we're supposed to trust those voting machines because they won the lawsuit. It's, it's like,
yeah, and he's to Forrest Mommy's point, he's platformed a lot of people that, in other words, on any other mainstream outlet, on any of those cable news networks or the ABC, all the propaganda on the normal channels.
do you think he's generally like doing like trying to like make up for all the damage he did as beating the war drums for Iraq and all the terrible shit that he did in the first part of his career? Or like, this is his chance to make amends?
Possibly. And it's just
Try to get into heaven, like try to get the karmic order back in line. Like, I don't know. Good. You know what? Good for him.
Yeah.
He's going to have whatever he does is going to be huge, right? His own
Huge.
podcast. It's huge.
What if him and Don Lemon come out with the new Crossfire?
I remember that show. That was so ridiculous.
That's where I first heard Tucker Carlson
Yeah.
was on that show.
I just remember when what's his name? Jon Stewart went on there and like kind of made an ass of Tucker.
I don't even know if he made an ass out of him.
Oh no. Do you think imagine Fox replaced Tucker with Tim Pool? I think
And he'd
Pool
still
boy
wear
with
the
grift.
hat and everything.
Yeah. but with like a suit or something.
In front of like $1 million like glitzy set, and like there he
Yeah.
is in his hat and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I almost shared this podcast into my kids' school
School board.
private
Into the school board.
Do it. Do it.
DM it to the
How do they
principal.
find out now anyway?
Send it to one of the nuns.
group. That would have been bad. I'm gonna
Yeah,
share
they
it.
need
You
to know
guys,
who you
you guys
are.
should share it to the Joe Jorgensen 2020 group.
Yeah,
Of course.
All right.
that group is
I'm just
lit.
sharing it wherever.
I've never heard of a more base group in my life.
I'm just letting you guys know if you're seeing this, like, oh my god, auto spams my group. Well, don't invite me to your shitty group, and I won't spam it. That's
Yeah, I should accept all these requests I have in Facebook so I can just spam them with PRL content.
Yep.
That's why all of those groups end up being nothing but spam.
Yeah.
Because of me. Pennsylvania for
There's a lot
Liberty.
of-
Don't mind if I do.
There you go.
Pennsylvania for Liberty.
Hey, what's
Well,
that
no, what we
new
need to do is-
organization? Didn't you guys get a letter recently from some new libertarian
Yeah.
sounding organization?
Yeah,
Oh.
ironically,
All three of
Well-
the four of us, I got
Yeah.
2 in the mail
yeah,
right here.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
it
all
seemed-
got them in the mail today.
Oh,
I have
shit, I
yet
just,
to
I
open
just
it.
showed my address on. Whatever.
Why didn't I get one?
That's all right. Whatever.
Well, what is
Well,
it?
it's great. The first episode it's 1080, and yet we're holding
Yeah.
up letters with our address on it.
You just
But it's from
doxed
the
yourself.
it's from the Libertarian Policy
Bunch of morons.
Foundation. It's not an
Ooh.
institute now. It's an entire foundation. And it's 269 Orange Street, Manchester, New Hampshire, 03104 at the libertarianpolicy.org. So this is straight from Sarwark's foundation.
Perfect. Right. I
Yeah.
mean, with just a name like that, like if I'd hear a name like that, I'm going to assume like libertarian policy. It's the opposite of libertarian, whatever it is.
Right.
Right.
Well-
Nobody's going to call themselves that. That's actually libertarian. Like Libertarian Institute. Okay, we'll cut them some slack. Right. They're
I was gonna
actually
say, don't they do
libertarian.
that?
Oh, so here
But-
I got their
Oops.
sales pitch here. I don't know. Let's see here. One.
Do you-
Oh my god.
Should I read this out loud here?
Go ahead, Jared. Yeah.
All
this
right,
is a
says
lot.
Dear Jared. God.
Skip right to the pitch at the end so we can find out what they're asking for.
Well, I don't know. This first part's good. All right. Dear Jared, are you tired of partisans fighting each other in Washington, D.C., running their mouths on television about the evils of the other side, but no one is talking
Nope.
about how to fix our country?
Uh-huh.
Are you searching for a movement that brings regular people together to fix what is broken,
hate
to bring
regular
about
people.
real change in your community? Do you find most grassroots training programs cater only to the establishment, the radicals, or special interest groups? That's a direct shot at you guys.
Right.
You are not alone.
You're not.
Americans across the
You're
country are fed up with the extremes and outrages of the current political duopoly.
We
and
need
the
a new
libertarian
middle of the road
policy.
voice.
We're
We need a
duopuling
new,
it.
completely non-offensive, middle libertarian-ish sounding something that everyone can sort of get behind.
All right.
Sorry.
No, there's no.
No, that
It
okay.
just
They
read-
have So what I don't understand is they have this thing called the Golden Spike Program, which is supposed to get people to run for office.
Golden
But
Spike.
it says
With Spike Cohen,
no. That's
Yeah,
what I thought. But it's like a spike of
he's
like
the golden spike, right? Like if the Libertarian Party ran him as a candidate, that would be golden.
Guys, aren't you excited for a Johnson 2.0 candidate?
Yes.
Mm.
But I'm curious who they're going to run.
Something that's
Like,
a
are they
little bit
running?
Democrat and a little bit Republican and kind of right there in the middle.
Yeah.
But see, this says nothing about the Libertarian Party. So who are these candidates running for? The Democratic
They're running
Party?
for no, they're running for the new Nick's new big
Oh.
old thing he's doing. His new national.
Oh, and
party
look,
he's trying to
this
start.
is signed by yours truly, Nicholas Sarwark, Executive Director of the Libertarian Policy Foundation, right there.
He's so
How
nice.
much-
He sent
How
This
much
is-
money do you think
This
he's
is
getting
John
from the CIA?
Hancock.
What? Get
How
the
much
fuck
money is
out of
the
here.
CIA
All right.
giving them?
P.S. If you're able to support Libertarian Policy Foundation right now, your contribution will be matched by one of our most generous benefactors by up to $25,000. Get the fuck out of here.
But
hell?
yeah, most generous benefactor.
That's right. Your gift will
Deep
count as a
state.
double.
The
And
the Department of
Yeah. get the-
Defense.
Right.
Yeah,
DOD, DARPA,
that's where all that missing money goes to.
Right.
Doubling
$500
contributions
proceeds.
to Nick's group.
Oh, I need that clip.
Well, is
from
he asking how much
fucking-
money does he need to get this thing off the ground?
Yeah. It doesn't.
Can I
someone read it. I'm
subscribe
looking for a good
to
sound
his
here.
newsletter?
I mean, 3, 4, 5 pages. I mean, nobody has time to read this shit.
See,
6
well, the way
pages
it works
front and
is they figure the way it works in these fundraising letters, if you read like the first page, you'll read basically as many pages as they give you. So like they've got you to the then
Yeah.
and then there'll be a PS. Like what's the PS say at the the last page?
Oh, that he'll match up to $25,000. Oh, wait. But wait, there's more. There's a PPPS. That's right.
There you go.
Your gift will count as double, and the combined contributions of all our supporters this month will be matched with an additional $25,000 gift. Wait a minute. There's a PPPS. Please consider your most
PP.
generous contribution, whether it be 1,000, 500, 250, 100. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
What if I
Wait.
wanted to donate $1?
It would make a world of difference and will help activists fight for liberty and justice for all. What the fuck? What a douche.
In
what
the
a douche
American
magoosh.
way.
Fuck that guy. Anyways.
And look, they made these check boxes like nice and big for like elderly people. How
Right,
big this is. Bab, you could just sign away.
right. You won't even need
Is
your
there a-
magnifying glass.
Can I just hand over my private keys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seconded. Cheesy as fuck. Like who's that moving the needle for in this day and age? Like
He must have worked so hard on that though. I mean, he
Aw,
probably put a lot
guys.
of right.
An
What's the
admin,
matter?
an admin declined your post in Joe Jorgensen 2020 group.
oh,
A bunch of
Oh.
squares.
Damn it.
Talk
Is it Joe
about
Jorgensen?
squares.
It might have been. They didn't give me any feedback though. They just.
I mean, I can't believe anybody's actively managing that.
I'm gonna.
group.
You know what? We'll talk to.
was
we'll talk to-
automatically
We'll talk to
declined.
Joe about
Ooh.
that. Okay, we'll talk
Automatically.
to Joe.
Yeah.
We'll get to the
Criteria
bottom of that.
met for
and whoever that
declining.
admin is, they're gonna get fired because you know what?
Reshared.
Because Joe
reshared
Jorgensen's a friend of the
content in
show.
post.
She's a friend of the show. Unlike some admin with no, who's totally Squaresville.
right.
True. True.
Very sad.
Yeah. We'll
Very
plead-
sad.
we'll plead-
Just
plead
like
to the
this
Joe.
Libertarian Policy Foundation. Very sad.
I'm sure they're gonna, they're just dreaming of the cocktail parties they're gonna be invited to, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine, like, oh, maybe why does Reason get all, or why does Cato get to go to all the good parties? Why, like we're willing to compromise too.
Right. I hope they sell the fucking the headquarters in Arlington or in Alexandria. I was just down there.
Auction
2-3
it
weeks-
off.
Right.
How about an
Sell
auction?
that. I mean,
Sell
it
it
is
for
in the most
Bitcoin.
seriously. I mean, it is in the. I mean, Alexandria is ridiculously expensive. We're talking maybe it's prime real estate. Sell it. Sell it. They don't use it. It's just a. You wouldn't even. You would go.
Who's in
buy-
charge
you-
of selling it? I thought you guys were in charge now.
Well, I don't know. That's more of Otto's realm, but
Well,
Otto,
you know, if a
definitely-
headquarters is
Can
necessary,
we rent it
how
out?
about
Can you make some cash flow off of it?
how about
Probably not.
move it to, if there has to be a headquarters, how about New Hampshire? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense
No,
than
you
down in
want
the
it middle of the
cesspool?
country.
Why do you want to be like near Sarwark? We should do it
Yeah,
in like Austin or
Just
something.
you know, upwind. I don't know. I mean,
Upwind.
Yeah,
well,
but it's,
all right. I don't think there should be a headquarters, right? Why does
Heck, it
why
is.
does there need to be a headquarters, right? Now, like a cool, like super libertarian clubhouse, where where you could do all the meetings, you could do raids.
No girls allowed.
Do we even need to put
Have
up
like
a
a-
sign anymore?
Have like a 20-seat like meme laboratory, right? Where people just like work on memes and tweets and
That's right, Randy.
right, like a real like headquarters.
Yeah, dude. And
Yeah.
with your public broadcasting
a-
background, when we're begging for money, you could go live on
got
air.
like a
and there's like a whole,
That's right.
there's a whole group of teams. Just $5 a day. Your contribution
Hell yeah.
can help
Yeah,
these
these guys
kids.
are making-
meet.
It's got like a
Round the clock.
speakeasy in the basement.
Wait a
There's
minute.
like
is
a
this where- is
butler
this
on
gonna be like
staff.
the meme farm, like the Russian
Yeah.
meme farm, like
Oh
Just
yeah,
$5
dude.
a day.
Not to
Not to
election.
mention the video studios and the and a huge array of AI computers that
I
will
don't know.
create the best libertarian
make s-
candidates that have ever been conceived.
Like it's
Yeah.
a good idea to have like one place wherever you could keep the storage for like everything, like everything you need, documents.
Yeah, like
Signs,
let's have a
like a-
centralized libertarian thing.
But like,
So
no,
a storage
just
unit.
having
So
like
we
a
could
s-
basically
Yeah.
could rent a storage unit.
We'll put
Anyway.
all our
no,
names on a
It was
list.
supposed to double. It was supposed to
All our
double as a
gold
place where we can
bars.
have all of our meetings. All LNC meetings should be there in
Dude,
person.
but it's a fucking townhouse.
And it
It's
should
like
be
a
big
town
enough. It
home.
should be big enough
It's
to
a row home
accommodate
in
like the
Alexandria.
convention body as well, like for special events.
Right.
It should. Like, it should. That should have been the motive all along when they first did that. But they just they wanted to have a place close
No,
to
they-
Cato, close to Reason, close to
So-
Congress,
Close to the
close to the-
CIA.
you said it.
Yeah. One day.
Well,
we'll get to those cocktail
we'll find
parties.
out what these new Mises people, can do, right? Like if they're going to really help the LP,
And I'm
like
getting 2 letters
getting rid of
from Sarwark.
that thing
2
would be a
letters
big
today.
bonus.
The roadmap to real libertarian action. The roadmap in here.
The whole map.
What if
The
you sold
roadmap.
it? What if the LP sold it and bought like a large pot farm?
They're not that cool. We're not that cool. We could be, but yeah. This is not going to happen. I don't know. We're dealing with a whole.
There's
I
other
wish I
stuff. We could talk about
I
after
wish
hours.
I could talk about it all. Maybe in the after hours. Sign up for a Fed level, and I'll tell you everything.
See, luckily I have no restrictions. So.
Yeah. Otto will violate NDAs in the after hours.
Oh hell yeah! I'm violating all the NDAs. Think I give a fuck? Well, it's funny because I was on the board. So here's a funny story. I'll tell everyone. I was on the board on the last administration, like the last, and they never had me sign an NDA. Ever.
Okay.
Why would you?
Yeah.
Why would
Well,
anything going on? Why would anything be a secret? I mean, really,
Well, I'm.
there's like, oh, the secret negotiations for petition prices. What? Like, it's all a bunch of, it should all just be open anyway.
Well,
I
for the
mean,
most
you
part.
are dealing with people's private information. You don't want
Not really.
You don't want someone going rogue. You don't want
What
someone
kind of
like,
private information are we talking about?
Well, depending on what you're, you could be. I mean, that's the other thing too. Someone leaked my private information because I'm getting letters from fucking Sarwark's foundation. So
Yeah.
He probably just walked off with the database.
right,
Yeah. You're not too far off there.
exactly. Because how the fuck does he have my contact info?
He's
I
got
never-
a lot.
I never
She
I
says
never
donor money
donated a
is
dime
pu-
to the Libertarian Party
public-
when he was chair.
Yeah.
I gave it all to the caucus prior.
Yeah, I don't think I
Yeah.
ever donated money.
There's
It's
100
probably when you
different
guys
ways to
signed
do
up
that.
for the Maryland Libertarian Party, when you signed up for national, like when you bought a package to national.
Guess
convention
what,
or whatever.
guys?
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
For years,
went.
I was personally emailed regular copies of the entire LP member database. Okay, for years, I received that with never signing anything. Like, it was agreed to keep it cool, But we
cool,
used
man.
it to solicit. It was not just the membership, but it was every single person that had ever inquired about a membership or
Wow.
previous members.
So
Right,
how do
so
we
we're
get our
talking-
hands on that?
Yeah, can we get our hands on that?
Tens of thousands of contacts, right? And we would use it to promote events in Pennsylvania, but they would just had a list of people and they would regularly just send it out to everybody on this like user group. So yeah, where do people get the data? Well, it's not very tight. So
Yeah, it's understandable, but anyway,
I probably still have that file, but it's from like
Should-
1995 and like half the people are dead. So
Yeah, this is like people's not even cell phones, you know. People landline phones.
They're all like net
Cut off for
zero
20 years.
email addresses.
at AOL.com.
AOL.com.
CompuServe.
Hotmail.
Yeah.
They got to put a CD-ROM in for like 1 hour of internet.
Remember that? Remember CD-ROMs?
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Oh man.
Fuck.
Yeah, professionalism only in the LP. Yep. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Fuck, man. There's
Yeah, how's
some-
the LP not just been completely shut down for like malfeasance?
Hey, maybe what about that RFK dude, RFK Jr. guy?
Well, everyone's talking about him. I'm like, yeah, he gave a good speech, but he's also like a climate change nut, and he's also, I think he's a gun grabber. He's just like, yeah, he says a lot of good things. You know, I was there. Alex, were you there at the speech he gave?
Yeah, it was at
The
the
Ron Paul event?
Ron Paul Institute in
Yeah.
Virginia 2 years ago.
2 years
And
ago.
it was still during all the goofiness of COVID, and he spoke,
Yeah,
but
I
it was,
think he's
it was
still. I
specifically.
think he's still learning. You know what I mean? Like he's a guy that might. You know, I'm not saying put him in charge before then, but he's a guy that we should definitely stay in touch with and help him get all the way there. You know. Because it's like once you start peeling back the rug, and you start looking at all the shit under the carpet, it's just a matter of time before the whole thing's, just garbage to you. So,
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
pretty. At that Ron
if you
Paul
can figure out
Institute.
that COVID is a scam, like it just happens to be all the same people telling you about climate change. Surprise, like how can you trust one narrative and then reject the other?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's. I mean, those clips about climate change, I saw those circulating around Twitter this week, but they seemed like they were from years ago. I don't know how recent.
Yeah, yeah, we don't know, but the thing is, like, he's running as a Democrat. He's running against Biden, and guess what? Coincidence, guys. In the same week he announces he's running against Biden, the Democratic Party announces there will be no Democratic Party debates.
Oh, well, because Meet
So-
Joe, he might not even be alive by
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to have
By
GPT bot by
Yeah, I
eyeball
mean,
blood
debates are
Biden.
nice, but now's just not the time to have these
Yeah,
ideas.
it's the most
out in
important election
public.
of our lifetime.
Not while we're at war. What would that send a message to Putin?
I mean,
like-
democracy's going to be on the ballot, guys. Like
Yes,
democracy.
democracy.
Itself.
We can't
Yeah,
include
we
him
have to
in,
make
on-
sure that we're not going to debate whether democracy should be on the ballot or not. It's going to be
Right.
there, and that's Joe Biden, and you're going to vote for him, and that's all you get for democracy.
Ma democracy. Yeah,
That's so great.
they're not. I mean, could you imagine that? Like, there's no way that would happen. Of course, they were going to shut that down real quick.
Right.
Like,
Can you
hell
imagine-
no,
like, can you
nobody's coming up.
The CIA though letting that Kennedy guy like get even close to the ring of power, like not in a million years.
It's like, damn, we got to kill another Kennedy. Shit.
Like,
Like just like my grandpa,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
my
even
God.
think. I doubt that. Do you think he even has an Epstein's Island file?
Oh, we should see if he's been on Epstein's Island.
Like, if he's never been there, there's no way he's going to get the nomination.
That's such a good like thing. Like, has he been on Epstein's Island? No. Oh, sorry.
That he's
You
not
can't win.
presidential. That tells you he's not presidential.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
but-
thanks, Brian.
Yeah, we don't need
Joe Exotic 2024.
So wait, he switched to the Democratic Party, right?
Yeah, he switched to the Democratic Party.
Okay.
We ran him off.
Bummer.
So I
Yeah,
posted,
wasn't he like going at it with Angela directly?
Yeah, he was going. She called him like a D-rate celebrity, which was fucking hilarious.
Hey, how about Angela's cosmetic line? That seemed to have got a few eyebrows.
Oh my
raised.
god, that got people so pissed off for no fucking reason.
She came out with is that for real? She's got a product line
Yeah.
of makeup for biological females only, please.
Right. And
Wow.
you can't even
Go
say
for it.
biological female. That's dog whistling, saying biological female.
Well, that's what I'm sure why everybody hates her for it. But I read the description, like her product description. It's like, women have a certain pH, they have finer pores. There's women have a different skincare products, and that's who they want to focus and market towards.
It's like, sorry, Dylan. No Dylan's allowed. No Dylan's,
Well,
no Bud Light.
I think she's just trying to get on that, like Jeremy's razors or like the anti-woke product line. Hey, it's a viable market, like
No, for
go
sure.
it.
make your money, because
Exactly.
what's gonna make any money from this?
Like somebody came out with some kind of idiotic right-wing beer, like, you know what I'm talking about? They're like, okay, here's, you don't want to drink Bud Light, here's this some kind of, I don't know what it was, but
I don't know either.
there's a market for it.
There's a market. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what's the
So
name of her
is Angela still getting any flack for that, or is that? I mean,
Well,
that
hold on.
seems like
What's the name of the
vegetarians would
line?
Just run with that.
What's the name of the line?
Fuck.
Let's give her website out.
Ed Reagan
Yeah, why
was connecting it to fascism. He was like, hey, this word here, this is the root word is fascism, and blah, blah, blah. Like, he was doing one of those crazy things, his kicks he gets on.
What's her last
What's
name?
the name?
again?
Do you remember the name of her line?
No, fuck, I can't. It's like,
What's her
I'm
last
gonna
name again?
Google it.
I'm drawing a
McCardle.
blank. Cardle makeup line.
That's my chair.
Yeah,
Here we go.
So what is this?
Bona Dia Cosmetics.
That's it.
And then she's got some chick. Is this her? Oh, this is her.
Yeah. Is this her?
I don't know. Jared's not a biologist.
I'm not a biologist.
That kind of looks like a
Bona Dia.
dude on the Twitter thing.
That's her, I think.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
Really?
Is it?
Are you looking at the same thing I am? This
She's got on like a pink thing. Yeah, I think that's her without glasses, right? I don't know.
Yes, that's her without glasses, James.
really?
Yeah.
Fucking bigot.
I think she's wearing too much of her own makeup though, because I just
Yeah,
I
it
don't
doesn't-
recognize her.
It doesn't,
be
it
the
doesn't really
filter.
look like her.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we have the shit lib caucus in the house?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
shoot.
great.
I do like her
Sign-
glasses though. I think she looks pretty good with the glasses on.
Libertarianbeer.com.
That sounds-
What is this?
I don't know.
One day we're going
We
to start a
just finding random
PRL.
libertarian products.
Yeah. One day we're going to
Oh, yeah.
start our own podcast beer.
Why hasn't anyone
label.
reached out to us about starting our own punk rock libertarians beer? Like,
Look,
come
if you're
on.
listening to this and you own a brewery and you
Or
want
know
to
somebody who does.
or
right?
know
I'm
someone who
sure-
does,
Like, do you go to a brewery? Ask them. Say, hey, would
Yeah.
you guys like to create a special? Now,
What
what
would
kind
it
of beer
be?
would it be though?
IPA,
it'd have to be at least what, like 8-9% for auto.
Yeah, right.
a sour
would
IPA.
say-
There we go.
A sour
No,
IPA.
no,
Nah,
sour.
I
We're
don't-
tell
Sour
nah.
these.
IPAs are fucking awesome.
We're
I
trying
do
to
like
sell
a
these.
sour,
How about
but-
New England style double IPA?
I'll do
I
that
like a
too.
hazy. How about a hazy Imperial IPA?
You think I would? You guys think I was drinking triple IPAs this weekend? Okay, guys, I love it. I love it all.
I think, and for Otto,
Yeah,
we
we
should make it
We'll ask
fruited.
Fifth Company.
Yeah, fit. Yeah, fit. Yeah, I'm gonna
Let's
reach
go.
out to Brandon. But Brandon,
Do
go.
it.
What's up?
It's not
Let's do
enough
it,
though to
bro.
be a brewery that we know. They have to be good, right? Like last thing I want is like some garbage brewery to like, hey, we made a beer for you and we can't even drink it because it's crap, right?
Oh, no.
That would not
Yeah,
be
but we
good
can
for
sell
them
it to a
or
bunch of
us.
squares and be like, tell them it's. Tell them
Let's
it's
just say-
delicious.
Let's just
And
say
what
we
does it
should
look
start
like?
reviewing.
What is it
We're going to
called?
start reviewing. We're going to start reviewing applicants applicant breweries that would like to submit
Well,
their idea.
Let's
concept
spitball on
or a
names right
recipe.
now. Let's spitball
They
on
can
some
send
names.
us samples to taste what they
Yeah.
think like it should be. You know,
Drop some names
about-
in the chat there.
How about
What
the
are-
Don't Talk to Cops IPA?
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say something about the auto blow. I'm like the auto
Blow IPA.
auto blow IPA.
Make it fruity,
don't-
says Forrest Mommy. I don't know.
I like fruit.
Forrest
I'll
Mommy
just
said
Subtle,
make it
like a
fruity.
subtle fruit overtone would be fine. I think.
stop it, Brian.
Otto's nipple.
Perhaps a whole rainbow of
Right.
fruity flavors.
Yeah. Or like a pure blood porter,
Otto's
you know?
nipple, like
blood
milk
porter.
stout.
blood and soil.
Yeah,
Pilsner.
blood. There you go. Blood and soil. Blood and
Red.
soil pilsner.
or blood and soil, like red.
got it.
A red beer.
Blood
Oh.
orange and soil IPA. Oh God, we're gonna hit all the algorithms and all the
There we
people.
go.
They're gonna get mad.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for creativity here.
Yeah, we gotta think of
It's
stuff.
happening.
Hey, if you
It's
want to
happening.
leave like your best beer suggestions in the comments or in maybe an iTunes review or something,
Yeah.
then do it.
Oh,
We'll-
I got
we'll
a good
read it.
one. It'll be a picture of Ron Paul going like this, and it's like it's tapping, you know, something like that.
Oh,
Wow.
not bad.
Here, I brought this out in honor of our new beer. What do you think?
Yeah.
Can you
Hey, it's an inclusive beer.
check out
Equity
my-
Equity
check out my
IPA.
super-
Equity
can you see my
IPA.
super inclusive new background.
ES,
Yeah.
ESG,
So what is- what-
ESB.
So what is the O?
ESG.
What is the?
Not only knows what all those things in it mean, but it's
what is the
super
O? They just
inclusive.
added that, didn't they?
Well, ESB is what
knows?
extra special bitter is. I think what it stands for.
I don't know. Yeah.
So ESG, ESB.
I think. See, Brian. This is Brian says the Liberty Tree water, but like that's
Blood orange
IPA.
IPA.
It's
I
that's
like it.
been done. It's been
Cut.
done.
Probably.
Just a little bit fruity and a little bit violent. You know, that kind of sums up the show. You know, like
So Babs, what's with the purple O now in the flag?
I have no idea. I was hoping maybe
addition.
you
Does
guys
anybody
could
else
tell
know?
me.
The
I
purple
figure one
O?
of those things is I don't know who know like
Did that just come out? Was that just a new addition?
I just feel it's super inclusive.
Well,
But
oh,
hopefully
flag.
none of those mean pedo. I don't know. Like
PRL GBTQIA plus IPA.
Okay, the purple O.
I think it's like intersectional with
Yeah,
like racism and
Yeah, there you go.
something.
So
and
the
then
purple O
means-
flag.
Oh,
Let me pull this up here.
Oh, please don't mean pedo. Uh-oh.
I don't think so. It's intersex.
Okay.
Like 1 in
does
2,000
everyone have a
people born
flag?
with a combination of whatever.
this
See,
is what
this
you
is
get
super
from all these
inclusive.
kids worshiping flags and this all this flaggatry going on in this
Yeah.
country. It started with the
It
United
started-
States flag. Now every gay
It started
person
with
has
the
their own
rednecks.
flag.
It started with the thin blue lines, and now we've got
Colors don't
our
run.
purple circle lines.
Does that white represent albinos? Because there is a little bit of white on the edge. What does that represent? What minority group?
Ooh, it's kind of a scary
Mm.
color to go with, you know.
Does the gold fringe on the purple O mean something?
Who knows?
It's
Dude.
an admiralty. It's admiralty intersex because of the gold fringe.
Good God. You know, we're stumbling onto something that's like probably legit. God hates flags. Yes. Yes, scientific libertarian. Yes. Here's the God hates flags. He does. I
God
hate them
hates
too.
flags. Yeah.
And ATF agents.
I'm trying to find that one where it's like that. It's like a flag like that, and it's just filled with like all the different corporation logos and stuff, and like the FBI logo. It's like someone spent like days making this fucking image, but I can't find it.
It's great.
I gotta find it though. But anyways,
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're stumbling on the things that are probably in a few months from now. We're like, well, we called it. We made up our own thing because everyone's got to have their own flag. There's like demi boys. You guys know that, right? There's like a sexual identity called like demi boys and demi girls.
Hmm.
It's just, hey man, whatever.
What do you guys think
wanna
about
do,
this
but-
flag? That's
yeah,
my-
that one. Alex shared that
Yeah.
on Twitter.
wow.
Yeah, that's
That
over
would-
the top.
That's
Now,
like the
that is
epilepsy one.
and for people that are tripping on shrooms.
Yeah,
Wait, that had the Ukrainian flag in it too. I
It
noticed
did,
that.
of course.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, look.
Where's
That's
the
great.
black sun?
Oh, where's the black
Black
fist? Come on, man.
hole
Yeah,
sun.
shouldn't the Azov is the Azov battalion represented in there?
I don't know.
Is that real?
No, someone just commented. It was this account. Someone just commented on it, and I thought that was pretty funny. But they're like, that flag isn't inclusive enough as my flag. Oh God, clown world! My God.
Speaking of inclusive, did you hear that they're adjusting mortgage rates now to be more equitable? Because
Oh my
Right.
god,
Right.
makes me want to puke, dude.
like literally they're like, hey, if your credit score is too high, we're going to charge you a higher interest rate so we could subsidize these disadvantaged people with a poor credit score. Specifically, they're just like, yep, we're actually saying it and we're doing it just to what? Just to fuck with whatever you guys had planned. We're going to create what? Basically create a bunch of bad loans going out, right? You start
Yep.
incentivizing.
Yeah.
Right. You
Well, you're
incentivize
you're doing two
worse
things.
loans.
You're disincentivizing anybody to try and get good credit now, right? And then you're incentivizing people that can't afford houses to buy houses. So it's like
Yeah,
double
it's double.
poor incentives.
This is, I mean, this like
just-
woke
they just want 'em.
economic policy. Like, is it just like stupid people doing woke shit, or is this
Yeah.
like, and this is how the banks are going to end up owning everything because there'll be
Right.
more foreclosures, more everything. You'll own nothing. Banks will own your house because if we can just get people to get loans for houses and then go bankrupt, we get all the houses. Right. And now, I mean, already more and more people are renting, I think, because of the average home cost has like doubled in 10 years. So maybe it's part of that strategy. What do you think?
Also just a
evil
sneaky-
or incompetence?
It's a sneaky way to increase taxes too on like the upper, echelons, really.
Right?
But-
Because now you're
but
going
also
to
dipping
assess
into
your
the middle
property.
class. Yeah.
Right, your property tax is going to go up.
Yep.
So if you do actually have property, and it's also just a backdoor way to like, I mean,
And then even in the side world, they're like,
it's
"Oh,
so
it's going to be
insidious.
minimal. It's only $40." But it starts at $40 and then it becomes $400.
right?
Yeah. All right. Plant Base is up in here giving his humble brags. He's like, I built my credit score up from the mid 500s to bordering 800 for nothing. Yeah, I know
Now
what
you're
you're
gonna
doing
have to-
there, Plant Based.
Yeah, now you got to work it back down, right? You got to
Right.
get some
Yeah,
extra
take out
credit
some bad
cards,
loans.
go to Vegas,
Yeah,
right? This is how you're going to
Loan
be
me a
able to
few
afford a home
thousand. I'll
loan.
default on it. It's fine.
max that shit out.
We'll all lower.
Yeah, just
our
get a
scores.
personal loan and then give it to Otto for like 30% VIG and then break his
Yeah, we'll do this
kneecaps.
together. We're in this together.
Now here's one of the conspiracy theories that I heard. Okay, tell me what you guys think. Okay, that this is basically an attempt to I got to remember how this works, but you get everybody get people used to not paying back the loans. Like eventually it'll just lower their interest rate, and then have people say, well, why are people even paying back their loans at all? Let's just move their debt or their bank account directly over to the Federal Reserve, right? Where you just, instead of having the bank worry about that, let's just move that right over to the Federal Reserve. And we're going to change things around so the Federal Reserve can start it working directly with individuals, right? Which is
So that's the
against
thing
their
I don't
current charter.
understand.
And
I don't
that,
understand
right?
that.
And that becomes CBDC, because
But how do you box
yeah.
out? How do you box out like all these? Because you go to banks to digitize your money. So if you could go straight to the Federal Reserve and do that, that's good in itself. Like okay,
they'll sell
and
it. They'll sell it as a way for you to not have to pay back that loan.
yeah.
Or,
but I'm saying,
or to
how
make
does that?
it
But that boxes
easier.
out
It'll
all
be
these
more
other banks.
secure. It'll stop terrorism. It'll stop pedophiles. It'll stop this. It'll be this. But
It'll be green.
So wait,
but
it's
it's
going to end the
exactly-
CIA?
But it's exactly how they'll have the centralized framework to. I mean, they won't call it a CBDC. Everyone will have an account with the Fed, and they'll just and from there they can just individualize their monetary policy on you.
That
So
could
anyway,
be
let's see.
that could be the plot.
Could this be related to that? To just try to intentionally like screw up banks, make bad loans, make them default, right? Like some said, like the whole way Silicon Valley Bank went down was sort of like a trigger to try to consolidate into the big banks, squeeze out the little banks. I don't know.
I think you're onto something, Babs. And I was listening to him, Gold Goats and Guns podcast, Tom Luongo, and I think he wrote for Newsmax, and I think he's spoke at the Mises Institute a few times, but he thinks it's like it's like a currency war, and right now it's like the Fed is the euro is about to collapse. Like it's basically he's gone into like all this from a geopolitical to all the banks to going back to the European banks and just and right now it's like the Fed is trying to implode everything, or the Fed's trying to implode the whole global system. And it's interesting. Some of it's a little bit above my understanding, but yeah, he honestly he thinks that this is a way of like breaking up all the banks and breaking up all these like basically the European Central Bank. So who knows? That could be the theory, and that could be the transition to the CBDC. You get some of these banks that aren't going to play ball, or get them out of the way and centralize things.
Right. Some more bank failures, right?
Mhm.
We got to do something. There's more bank failing, grandma's pension.
Right. We got to get it out of those
school teachers.
Mhm.
Those are right now is like the first one was like Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, like, right. They got bailed out, but then, is grandma going to get bailed out? Is the milk industry going to get bailed out? Like, is everybody, what happens when banks fail, right? And people actually lose stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here, let's just, we're going to save the bank by just, instead of just you losing your whole bank account, we're just going to just move
Transfer
that
it.
balance over here to your Federal Reserve account. And everyone will be like, oh, great. Okay. It's like a different bank. Instead of being at that bank, now it's at the Federal Reserve Bank. Everyone will say like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that could be this whole end game. But it could just be like a short term, like a housing boom. People can't afford the homes, so let's lower the standard. It could just be another housing boom to try to quote stimulate the economy.
I mean, maybe it's just a bunch of incompetent, like senile pedophiles that are just having fun turning the knobs of the economy and see what the fuck happens, right?
See what happens.
Like, let's try interest rates. Let's see what we can do to employment. Like, how mad will they get if we do this? Let's find out. Like, what happens when banks break? I don't know. Let's find out. They're like, time for another real estate crash? Yeah, well, whatever. Like, screw those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protect
So your
yourself
FICO
from them.
score. Yeah. So the article. Yeah, we posted it. We posted it, but yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I was just talking to my coworker today. He's like, kind of to Plant Base's point. He's like, what the fuck? Like I had shitty credit, like when in my 20s, like when I got out of college, like I was in debt, and like I worked hard to try to get myself in a position where I could put a down payment. Like this is like class warfare. This is just putting more fuel to the fire.
It's a signal to not participate, right?
Yeah.
Literally, if you don't have to participate in their banking structure. I mean,
Right.
we all have to. It's extremely hard not to,
It's
but
to what level, I guess. But yeah, it's you will own nothing and be happy. It is all part of the Davos agenda. Klaus
Yep.
Schwab, and it's creating, because just talking to my coworker today, he's just like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm, in my mid-30s, about to get married, I'm looking to maybe buy another home. Well, what the fuck? Like, why did I work so hard all these years and it's going to create, there's just adding fuel to the fire where people are just like, you know what? Like, fuck this system. So who knows what's going to happen? It's very, who knows? There could be a lot of things in play. And to your point, Babs, I think that could be part of it too. We're going to just transfer this over to the central bank. Cut out the middleman.
here's the new app to download on your phone. Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Make it so efficient.
It'll even it'll even just scan your face. Just hold it up.
Right. And it's so secure, like all those people that lost, remember that bank run or that bank collapse a couple months ago, where people's identity. Well, now if you do X, Y, and Z on your phone and download this, it's so much more secure, and it's, they're going to sell this.
So, right. If I was going to write their false flag, I would do some bank failures, but this time it's got to cause a little pain to some regular people and really make headlines with people suffering. Right.
Right.
They'll get reluctantly bailed out, but maybe not completely, and there'll be a lot of horror stories, and people will be like, "This can never happen again. We need action." That would be good. And then, but somehow it's Bitcoin's fault as well,
Right? Yeah, it always falls back to
and
somehow they're
therefore we're going to have
violating
to do
something.
some kind of.
Yeah.
They're going to try to do some kind of new crackdown on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin doesn't care, so they'll just get even more frustrated.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get creative with the writers on this one.
You know what could be really fun would be like some more like cyber terrorism, right?
Ooh,
They've been
yeah.
promising us like Russian cyber terror attacks and stuff like that. Like
It's right out of Putin's playbook.
yeah, like can't they just start claiming cyber attacks? I mean, if they just said, "Oh, like America's under attack by Russian hackers," right? Like, who would be able to say, like, it's true or not?
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody really upset.
They hacked
fast.
some banks, and
The the cash machines aren't working.
right.
All the ATMs are shut down. It's Putin's cyber attack.
Yeah,
Right.
that's how it's going to come. It's going to come in a form like that. Clearly, it's going to start with that. And like, see, this is why we need CBDCs. Like, it's blockchain technology, guys.
They'll be like, this is why we didn't want to fire the nukes, but once they did their cyber attack, we had no choice.
Dude, I was talking about that in the group today. I'm like,
Yeah, what do you guys? Well, do you want to take that over to after hours, or I mean,
well, we could kinda
we
hit
got
on
a
it
couple
little bit
seconds.
here.
Yeah. So
I mean,
is
that's
it how many
fine.
hockey players left?
Well, it was just two. It was just two, like in succession. Alexander Ovechkin left, and like the way to go back to Russia for the summer with his family where he's from.
Mind you, his season's over for
Yeah.
those that aren't like hardcore Caps fans, but yeah,
But for
they're
the way it
done.
was described was like they took a shit ton of stuff with them, which was the peculiar part of the headline when they said he was going back to Russia.
But the
And I
other
was like,
player was the one that was more peculiar too. Besides, like a lot of luggage, but the second player, what's his
Yeah.
name?
The
So
luggage
this
was
was,
kind of explained by the fact that he was going for like several months, apparently.
yeah, but he does it every year, and they were saying this was particularly large amount.
So someone's just like cataloging his luggage for him.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh
Like,
wow!"
dude, last time he had like four of the big boys. Now he's got 4 of the big boys and 3 of the little boys.
Yeah, and so that was kind of the first thing I saw, and that was like benign. I didn't really think anything of it. But then, so what happened was in the middle of the night, right before the big playoff game for the Avalanche, they're Nishkinshnin. I'm terrible at pronouncing his name. I've never been able to pronounce it right. He left from the team hotel with security.
And they're like in the middle of a playoff series.
In the middle of the playoff series, like right the night before a game.
Was he the only Russian guy on the team?
The only Russian star player? It was just weird. So it just
What
got
Putin's like, I need all my hockey players back immediately.
Oh, Putin does like his hockey players.
He likes sports,
You know.
right? Remember that
Yeah.
story about him kind of like pocketing a Super Bowl ring?
No.
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 What?
You don't remember that?
What
No.
CIA agency
Google
had
like
that?
Putin's Super Bowl ring for the story.
We'll save
But,
that for
like-
the after hours. Yeah. Putin's Super Bowl.
But yeah,
ring,
so
okay.
it led us to like this broader conversation about nuclear war, and everyone's just like in the group chats, like, oh, well, you should go here, or oh, we need to go to like Western Pennsylvania where we'll be safe. And I'm like, because my initial thought was, I was like, I just hope I'm somewhere in when the bombs drop, I'm in the vaporized zone, so I just vaporize.
No, you want to live. You want to
No,
live.
I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah, you could be a warlord, dude. Warlords are going to take over.
I am not going to live because living would.
Yeah,
that's why I
Otto's
told my-
not warlord material, man.
Ah,
yet.
Yeah,
know
we
what?
don't want to
But-
take.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, he is a Region 5 rep. Never mind. I retract.
He's not just an
Fuck my
alternate
name.
anymore.
Yeah,
He's clearly adept at moving up in
I'm the
He's
full
climbing
on-
the political ladder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah, we
sturdy
should-
ladder.
Yeah, but
No,
we don't.
I'm with
we
you. I don't
wanna
want to live through like the road.
Nope.
No,
I don't
no,
want.
no,
I said
dude.
I.
saw-
It sucks
I s-
because we're just far enough away from DC.
I'm going to help repopulate the earth. Okay?
Nah,
Somebody's
man.
going to have
We're-
to do it.
Like we're
in
gonna
your,
be
in
out of the
your
blast
RV.
radius. We're in the blast radius.
I'll
Black
put
Babs is
lead foil. Put some lead foil to shield me from the radiation. To
Babs will show up in the RV.
keep my
Come with
DNA
me if you want
intact.
to live. Come with Babs if you want. To
Babs
live.
is, it's going to be like that episode of the Twilight Zone where the guy wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I can finally read my books," and then he drops his glasses on the ground and now he can't read anymore. That's Babs.
So for real, like, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I want to be in the blast radius. So I just everyone vaporizes. It's an instant death.
In the
I'm not
blast
sitting
radius.
there having to watch my children's skin fall off for several days before they finally die in torturous pain. Like, I'm not doing any of that shit. Like, I don't want to have anything to do
You're
with
like,
that.
not on my watch.
Yeah,
everyone's
but
just
dude,
like,
you
"Oh,
went from
could just
like, hey,
escape and go
two.
here.
You went from like two hockey players, one mysteriously left in the middle of the night, and then I go back to the group chat. I'm like, my God, this has got really dire in the group chat. It's all like nuclear holocaust and talking about
I
how to
didn't take it
survive. And I'm like,
there. I
"God
just-
damn."
That's where everyone else took it. And so
Well,
I was just
I
sitting there
mean, it
thinking to
is
myself,
kinda-
like,
I was like,
there's
hockey
nowhere
player
to
left in the
go.
middle of the night. Everyone prepare for death tomorrow.
Get your
I'm
bomb
just saying
shelters
there's
ready.
nowhere to go. All the simulations say that, like, everyone keeps saying, "Oh, well, you just drive here and you'll be safe. Just go there." There's nowhere to go. You don't
Well, look,
understand.
Antarctica,
okay,
baby.
First of all, those reports are probably going to be based on like, well, what would Moscow target, and like using that kind of logic. But it's going to be a
Yes.
false flag nuke. It's not going to be based on that. They're not going to. You're close enough to DC. They're not going to do a false flag there. They're going to do one in like Kentucky or Ohio. Ohio seems to be disposable.
When
Like-
one goes, when one
And the wind
goes,
and when they do one in Ohio, the wind
Babs.
seems to blow into Canada.
Babs,
right.
no. When one goes, they all go, and there's no stopping it.
All right, our resident scientist, the scientific libertarian 2.0, says modern hydrogen bombs don't have as much radiation fallout as the older atomic bombs.
Okay, and you know what? They're more destructive, and they'll fucking destroy all of us. Russia has 16,000 plus of these things. They already know, like, it's every simulation that you ever heard. Like, I've heard of like 6 different simulations, and each one ends with everyone fucking dying. There's no escaping the first few hours of a nuclear holocaust. 2/3 of the world's gone within a
Dude,
few
this
hours.
is like this is the propaganda from now. The new propaganda says, nuclear war won't be that bad. Come on,
Exactly,
get over
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
That's the new propaganda. They're just like, well, here's the bull. You know, this is straight it's legit. Their plans. Oh, well, even though the simulations tell them what that'll happen, they still say, well, when Russia drops one and then we retaliate, they'll know that we're serious and they won't drop any more. That's literally their
Well,
plan.
first of all, at least with the United States silos, how many do you think would even make it out of the tube? Right, like 1 in 10. Right,
think-
like
I
this
think- I
this
think
shit's been in these silos for decades. Right. Nobody
mean,
ever
there is-
expected to launch them. It's all about the contract, not about whether they work or not.
That's a true point. I mean, that's a good point to present. But I think honestly, at this point, we know that Russia's really been innovating, because not only does Russia admit that they have these nukes, America admits they have these nukes, and all these other countries know they have these nukes. That these are the supersonic sea skimmers ones that go, that by the time they hit you, you don't have time to react. There's no, we
But
have
you
a
know
10
what
minute
though?
warning.
But here's the other
Doesn't
thing
happen
too.
anymore.
I can't get so worked up about it, because what ended the Cold War was Reagan making up the fucking fact that we had like space lasers and satellites, like some made up fucking government program. So whenever they're talking about like, oh my god, they have XYZ that could do whatever, yeah, it was bullshit to collapse the commies, because they were like, oh no, they have satellite space lasers, Star Wars, Project Star Wars. Like, are you fucking retards?
You can't shoot a bullet. It was like, hey, we'll shoot a bullet with a bullet.
Right.
That
And it
doesn't work.
was so
But it doesn't
when
matter,
they
man.
talk about some of these technologies, that's just the military industrial complex trying to just sell. So I'm like,
They're
I don't know.
downplaying this because they're
I could
downplaying
be-
it now. They don't
Yeah.
like that because if you follow the chain of dominoes that falls, it's like, hey, this is all kind of bullshit. We shouldn't be doing this. So
Well,
that's why they downplay it, and they think, oh, that's why all you hear about is tactical nukes, the ones that'll blow up a city,
Right.
nothing too big, but that's bullshit. That's just
Keep it in the
lull you to
beltway.
sleep.
Just
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that stays within the beltway. I think, like
Right.
I want to be in the beltway if that happens, because I want to die in the first blast. I don't want to linger throughout the whole shit.
Listen, I think, you know what, we should all, like, in our individuals or part of our organizations or candidates, just start saying, like, look, we're going to do a non-aggression treaty with Russia and China. Like, wouldn't that be funny? Like, I'm a candidate for governor of Maryland, and I'm going to be on a platform of opening talks with Putin, right, to
Yeah.
keep Maryland out of the war,
Right.
right? Like, why not? Like,
What good is that going to do you?
It's funny.
It is funny.
hopefully not get you nuked.
You know
right?
what's really
Like,
funny though? The Patreon episode that comes immediately after this.
Yeah, this is the real good episode. Thank you, Jared. So we're gonna talk a lot of shit. We're gonna drop names. I'm gonna show everyone how Nick Sarwark dead named me twice, and with
What a
his
bigot.
little-
Oh,
with
and
his
we
little
gotta,
newsletter.
we have to talk
bigot.
about the arrest and the raid of the Uhuru movement. People that have been like actually arrested for being accused of Russian agents, of being unregistered Russian agents because they disagreed with U.S. foreign policy.
Just
The
like the
shit
way
we
I like
do
my firearms.
every
Unregistered.
show, all through the show, basically people have been charged with. So I
Oh,
think it's a
wow.
pretty hot topic.
Hell yeah. So we'll get into that. We're getting into some other bullshit, and we're gonna do that right after this one. We're gonna record our After Hours podcast, which you get to listen to if you sign up for as little as $3 a month on Patreon, and we'll send a link so you get to talk shit and call me fat and demand to see my nipples like everyone else does, and it'll be fun. We'll engage with you or not, or maybe I'll ignore you. Who knows? We'll see. But you got to sign up for as little as $3 a month on our Patreon. And if you don't like using Patreon, there's other ways to donate to the show at PRLfans.com, like Bitcoin. And we also have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. If you use the code PRL or PRL podcast, you get a 10% discount. Thank you, Plant Base. He said the Patreon is always awesome. I know. That's what I'm trying to tell people. And if you use the code PRL2 and spend $50 or more, you get a 20% discount at libertariancountry.com. And until next time, my hombres, live free
Or
Boy.
die.
or muerte.